Hey there, rulers, it's time to get flexible with the new Faria utility heroes list. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and FowlLibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists.
As well as our guest lecturer members, Vite Ramen, King Pearlshine, and Mognite.
Class is in session.
So here is the list. I'm actually quite proud of this one. It's honestly a lot of fun to play. The whole idea being that Faria and her heroes got a lot of new cool tools to be able to mess around with in a way that gives them a lot of flexibility. It leans on not trying to go in necessarily off of Fire Hero because that's banned, but kind of the flexibility that some of the new cards offer give you the way to find the avenue for lethal in a different way. You can against some matchups go in very quickly and kind of brush them down. You can try to go wide. You can try to tap them out. You can try to play a grind game. There's all kinds of different options here, and it really comes down to two big cards that kind of, or I guess three big cards that kind of really provide them some flexibility. The first one being the 4 copies of Flash from Behind. This card was introduced in the starter deck, or was introduced in the first set of Hero Cluster, and is honestly insane. It is a mastery hero, so any hero can just be tapped for this, and it is minus 20/20 and a draw a card, as opposed to just a regular -7/-7. This is crazy good. It makes it so that you can apply that kind of progressive value that heroes have always done, but you still have some spot removal and the ability to mess with your opponent's turn, which is something they were kind of lacking before. They kind of played on their turn and then waited, and played on their turn and then waited. So this is a way for them to play on both players' turns really easily while still keeping up hand advantage because of that draw card. We're also playing, as always, the Faria package, which is 4 copies of Faria, keeping in mind that it's damage dealt to her, not by her, that's been negated, as well as the 4 copies of First Boon. And the other big card that we're playing here is 4 Tea Parties. This is something that, again, is a way to make use of that off-the-top white will that's never going to be stopped now, pretty much, because there's no dry wing in the format. So say, I don't have a really good turn 1 play, but I can bank this 1 white will to make use of it later, which is very, very nice. We're also playing Sealed One-Eye Dragon for, again, just some additional... We have life gain in this deck, so losing life isn't that big of a deal, and it's that spot removal, right? So I can play my creatures and not necessarily worry about not having a ton of will up to be able to be responsive to things. It also is really helpful to be able to deal with something like Exorcist Mage or Fallen Angel of Witch of the Fallen Kingdom, which stops us from searching off of something like Lenneth. Quick cast Lenneth is also gross, so just keep that in mind. Heroes-wise, the mini heroes-wise, we're also playing just 1 hero of wind and 2 hero of darkness. You really don't need more than that, to be perfectly honest, and you really only grab them kind of when you need them. So a lot of the rest of the deck is just really focused on Faria and just having good resources that way, mainly because of the fact that recovering your stones is really good, so you can flood out a board and then protect it, as well as make use of the cards that are being removed from the game with First Boon, which is really nice. And sometimes you just want to get stuff banished. Barrier and Eternal are a lot more prevalent nowadays, and forcing banish is just really nice. The big heavy hitter of the deck, though, is Charlotte. She provides so much good work. Flying and Barrier Black are huge right now with the use of Darkness Moonchild all over the place, and the flexibility of all the amazing white 1-drops you get by the idea of Guidance. You use Lenneth to get Faria, or use Lenneth to get Charlotte. Charlotte then casts Guidance, targeting the Lenneth, so then both of them have Eternal to be able to set up a nice board. You can do First Boon if your format is heavily linked with God's Arts, Dispelling Stone to pop additions, Birth of the Twin Princes. There's just lots of options here for 1-drop white cards that just make Charlotte very, very good. And in a format where people are using God's Arts because of Moon Children, she gets cost 1, which is really, really nice. So overall, just a very cool card here. Duet of Light, also a very good card because it can buy back a Lenneth, which is kind of nuts. And you can get 2 modes off of this, usually, because you just will not call Stone with Faria first, which is really, really nice. So Stone base wise, 4 green-white, 4 red-white, 1 Amadeus Crystal, and 1 Cat Eye Crystal, just so we can maybe cast the Hero of Darkness if we need to, but it's a really mediocre thing. It's also just really nice to have a darkness source so that if we get to it, we can start reanimating the Sealed One-Eyed if we need to for more pressure. We're also, with the Tea Party, you can play a nice little package of Hera and Athena as a way to be able to cheat them in off of Tea Party, which is very, very nice. So just keep that in mind, but it's a sideboard thing, not a main board thing for the sake of this list. Overall, I honestly really like this list. I've still kept it sleeved up and I still play it from time to time at locals, but let me know how you guys have been trying to play Faria or any other old ruler in the current format. And until next time, this is DMO73 saying class dismissed.